Today, we're uncovering the hidden stories of Black actors whose passings went unnoticed by the world. These beloved talents left powerful legacies, yet many fans never knew they were gone. Stay tuned. Some of these names will shock you. Number 1. Artemis Lamont Bentley. Artemis Lamont Bentley was the kind of actor audiences felt at home with the moment he appeared on screen. Whether he was delivering quick jokes, heartfelt moments, or raw emotion, he had that rare gift, presence. Millions grew to love him through his unforgettable performance as Hakeem Campbell on the hit UPN sitcom Moesha, and later in The Parkers. But long before the fame, before Hollywood lights ever found him, Bentley was just a determined kid with a dream. Born on October 25, 1973, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, he was the son of Lois Bentley and Donald Gardison. As a young teen, he relocated to Los Angeles with his mother, who was pursuing a career as a professional singer. Los Angeles, a place where dreams either soar or shatter, became the city that shaped him. Bentley grew up obsessed with cinema, constantly imagining himself on television. By the age of 12, he was already practicing how to sign autographs, declaring boldly to anyone who listened that he would become a star one day. Traditional school life, however, never suited him. Restless, bored, and eager to begin his journey in acting, Bentley ultimately dropped out of high school. But quitting school did not mean quitting his ambition. He worked tirelessly in movie theaters, grocery stores, and fish markets, holding on to survival jobs while rehearsing lines in his spare time, hoping for the moment Hollywood would take notice. Small roles trickled in, brief appearances in various films and television series, until his breakthrough finally arrived. In 1994, he was cast in the critically acclaimed series South Central. His raw and honest performance impressed creator Ralph Farquhar, who later cast him as the lovable, always hungry Hakeem Campbell in Moesha. For 6 successful seasons, Bentley became a television staple, winning over fans with his charisma and comedic timing. His momentum continued. In 1995, he landed his first major feature film role as Crazy K in the cult horror classic Tales from the Hood, a film exploring the dark realities of inner-city violence. Later, he stepped into the music world, forming the rap group Uprise with March Meeks Cartier and Tyson Pearson Typhoon. In 2001, he appeared as C Money in The Wash, starring Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Bentley even portrayed Tupac Shakur in the biopic Too Legit, the MC Hammer story. His final on-screen performance was in Spike Lee's crime drama Sucker Free City. Then came the tragedy that stunned everyone who admired him. Driving alone on Highway 118 near Simi Valley, Bentley's vehicle was seen speeding toward the Rocky Peak Fire Road off-ramp. Witnesses reported that his car shot past a stop sign, crashed through a chain-link fence, crossed the road, and plunged down an embankment. Bentley was ejected from the car and struck by 5 passing vehicles. He suffered catastrophic injuries and was pronounced dead at 12:23 a.m. According to the autopsy, he died from multiple blunt force injuries. A memorial service was held at Serenity Funeral Home in Milwaukee. He was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, survived by his wife and 2 daughters. Gone too soon, Artemis Lamont Bentley left behind a legacy of talent, ambition, and a life that burned bright, even if only for a moment. Number 2. Shirley Ann Hemphill. Shirley Ann Hemphill was one of those rare comedic voices whose presence could light up a room long before she even delivered a punchline. Best known for her unforgettable role as the sharp-witted waitress Shirley Wilson on the beloved sitcom What's Happening. She quickly became a fan favorite. Though the ABC show enjoyed modest success, it was ultimately canceled due to cast and production disputes, a disappointing end to a promising run. But Hemphill's journey to television began long before Hollywood came calling. Born in 1947 in Asheville, North Carolina, Shirley was the daughter of Richard and Mozella Hemphill. She attended Morristown College, majoring in physical education, but her true calling was comedy. Even as a young woman, she possessed a bold sense of humor and a natural stage presence. Determined to be seen, she recorded her stand-up routines on cassette tapes and mailed them to legendary comedian Flip Wilson. Wilson was impressed, and he did more than just praise her talent. He helped launch her career, inviting her onto the Flip Wilson Show. The opportunity was life-changing. Shirley quit her job, boarded a bus to Los Angeles, and began rebuilding her life from scratch. By day, she worked as a waitress. By night, she took the stage at the Comedy Store, honing her timing, her delivery, and her comedic identity. In 1976, her stand-up performances began catching serious attention. Casting agent Joanne Murray reached out, leading to Shirley's first television roles, a guest appearance on Good Times and a starring guest role on All's Fair. Norman Lear, impressed by her sharp comedic instincts on Good Times, offered her a major role in a spin-off series, but Shirley boldly turned it down, trusting her instincts for the right project. Her instincts paid off. She was soon cast in What's Happening, where her no-nonsense attitude and memorable one-liners made her a standout of the series. Yet, after the cast protested for better pay, production was abruptly canceled. Still determined, Shirley landed her own sitcom, One in a Million, which premiered on January 8, 1980. While the show struggled to draw large audiences, it solidified her status as a talented comedic actress. Throughout the years, Hemphill toured nightclubs across the country and made appearances on major TV programs including The Love Boat and Trapper John Maryland. She also shined on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, A&E's An Evening at the Improv, BET's Black Comedy Showcase, Black Comedy Tonight, and performed regularly at the Laugh Factory. But her rising career was tragically cut short. On December 10, 1999, after nearly 2 weeks with no contact, Shirley Ann Hemphill was found dead in her West Covina home. A gardener spotted her through a window, lying on her bedroom floor. The autopsy confirmed she died from kidney failure. She was only 52. Shirley Ann Hemphill's legacy remains one of courage, grit, and a comedic brilliance that still echoes through the halls of television history. Number 3. Wiley Hughes Draper Jr. If you remember the television miniseries, The Jacksons: An American Dream, then you certainly remember the young man who brought Michael Jackson to life on screen. His name was Wiley Draper, a dancer whose talent, precision, and spirit left audiences stunned. Wiley had been dancing since childhood, often skating and practicing moves with his brother Desmond at local skating rinks in West Virginia. After graduating from college, he took a job as a dancer at Disney World, sharpening his skills daily. When auditions opened for the role of Michael Jackson in the 1992 miniseries, Wiley took a leap of faith and went for it. And he got the part. His performance didn't just impress viewers, it electrified them. Wiley's dance scenes were praised for their accuracy, energy, and soul. He delivered each routine with such authenticity that many viewers felt they were watching Michael himself. His recreation of the legendary Motown 25 Billie Jean moonwalk became one of the most talked-about moments in the film. More than 38 million people saw the miniseries, and critics showered it with positive reviews. It seemed Wiley Draper was standing at the edge of a bright, unstoppable future. Yet despite the film winning an Emmy Award and showcasing his exceptional talent, major film and TV offers did not come the way everyone expected. Still, Wiley had one unforgettable moment ahead. Michael Jackson himself invited him to appear in the Remember the Time music video, a rare honor and a powerful validation of Wiley's skill. But the lack of roles soon became the smallest of Wiley's worries. Just as his life and career were beginning to blossom, tragedy struck. In 1993, the promising young star was diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. Within months, the illness took his life. Wiley Draper died in Los Angeles at just 24 years old. The world never got to see how far his talent could have carried him, but his portrayal of the greatest pop star in history remains one of the finest ever captured on film. a performance that continues to resonate decades later. A year after his passing, his family created the Wiley Draper Foundation in his honor. The foundation supports young artists and raises awareness about the urgent need for bone marrow donation in the African American community. Wiley may have left us far too soon, but the brilliance he shared remains unforgettable. Number 4. Tara McMullin. Tara Correa McMullin, born Chalva McMullin, was a rising star whose talent lit up every screen she touched. Audiences best remember her as Graciela Reyes, the troubled gang member on the CBS drama Judging Amy, where her performance brought raw emotion and unsettling realism. She also appeared alongside Martin Lawrence in the comedy film Rebound, proving she could shine in both drama and humor. Born in 1989 in Westminster, Vermont, Tara moved with her mother and older sister to Southern California before eventually settling in Venice, Los Angeles. She attended Venice High School, where she joined the school choir and nurtured her love for performing. Tara's big break came unexpectedly. Her mother, who worked for a casting company, recommended her for an audition. That chance moment earned Tara her first film role in Rebound and marked the beginning of a promising career. Soon after, she was cast in multiple episodes of Judging Amy during its 6th season. She also had a role on Nickelodeon's Zoe 101, further establishing herself as a young actress with immense potential. But Tara's life took a heartbreaking turn. In 2005, at just 16 years old, she moved into her own apartment in Inglewood, California. She had begun dating a 26-year-old gang member, a relationship that placed her in increasing danger. On the evening of October 21, 2005, Tara Correa McMullin was shot and killed outside her apartment by gang member Damian Watts. Watts was arrested, charged, and in 2009 convicted of her murder. He received 5 life sentences without parole. In 2007, Tara's story was featured on the documentary series Boulevard of Broken Dreams, a somber tribute to a young life stolen far too soon and a career that might have soared. Number 5. Fred Rerun Berry. Fred Allen Berry, known to millions as Fred Rerun Berry, was one of the most unforgettable faces of 1970s American television. Before he became a household name, before he danced his way into TV history, Berry first appeared in the 3rd episode of Saturday Night Live and performed regularly on the iconic dance program Soul Train. His energy was electric, his presence impossible to ignore. Born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, Berry discovered his love for dancing at an early age. He dreamed of being an actor long before Hollywood knew his name. That dream pushed him to Los Angeles, where he joined the groundbreaking dance group The Lockers, whose performances helped shape the future of hip-hop dance. With them, Berry appeared on major television programs, including Saturday Night Live in 1975. But Berry's biggest breakthrough came when he was cast as Freddie Rerun Stubbs on the ABC sitcom What's Happening, acting alongside Shirley Ann Hemphill. The show aired from 1976 to 1979, and transformed Berry into a cultural icon. His bright red beret, suspenders, and signature dance moves became television staples. It was on that show that he earned the nickname Rerun, a name that would stay with him for the rest of his life. However, fame came with a heavy cost. Berry openly shared his battles with drugs and alcohol. In an interview with People magazine, he described how becoming a millionaire at 29 overwhelmed him. The stress of sudden success and pressure to stay slim drove him deeper into addiction. Though he had experimented with substances in his youth, wealth only magnified the problem. He attempted to take his own life 3 times. After years of turmoil, Berry found a path to recovery. He embraced faith, began attending church, became a motivational speaker, and eventually was ordained as a Baptist minister. Yet health challenges persisted, and he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes later in life. Berry married 4 times and was the father of 3 children. On October 21, 2003, He was found dead in his Los Angeles home after suffering a stroke. He was 52. Fred Allen Berry now rests at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills, remembered as a dancer, an actor, a survivor, and a legend whose joyful performances continue to live on. Number 6. Michelle Doris Thomas. Michelle Thomas was one of those rare actresses whose warmth, talent, and unforgettable smile made every scene glow. Audiences adored her as Justin Phillips on The Cosby Show, and most famously as Myra Monkhouse, the sweet-spirited girlfriend of Steve Urkel on the beloved sitcom Family Matters. But behind the charm and grace she displayed on screen was a life shaped by passion, discipline, and the powerful influence of family. Born on September 23, 1968, in Brooklyn, Massachusetts, Michelle entered a world filled with music and creativity. Her father, Dennis Thomas, was a saxophonist and one of the founding members of the legendary band Kool and the Gang. Her mother was a stage actress whose dedication to theater became Michelle's earliest schooling in the arts. As a little girl, she followed her mother to rehearsals, memorizing lines, gestures, and the magic that happened under the stage lights. Her mother became her first acting coach and her greatest inspiration. Michelle later attended West Essex High School, where her performing skills continued to flourish. With encouragement from her mother's friends, who once overheard her singing, she entered the Miss Talented Teen competition. She first earned the title of Miss Talented Teen New Jersey, then at just 15 years old, she won Miss Talented Teen International in Montego Bay, Jamaica, standing out among 35 contestants from around the world. That same year, 1983, marked her first television commercial and an appearance on Soul Train with Hal Jackson. Soon after, she landed a recurring role on The Cosby Show, where she portrayed Theo Huxtable's girlfriend for 2 seasons. This opened the door to more opportunities, including roles in A Man Called Hawk 1989, Thea 1994, and the TV movie Dream Date 1989. Her incredible voice also earned her spots in music videos for artists like Mint Condition, Chubb Rock, and Andrew Hill. She later returned to Soul Train, this time as a guest host from May 1996 to March 1997. In 1993, Michelle secured the role that would define her career, Myra Monkhouse on Family Matters. For 5 years, she brought humor, sweetness, and vulnerability to the character, becoming one of the show's most beloved personalities. When the series ended, she transitioned into daytime drama, joining The Young and the Restless as an aspiring singer and love interest of Malcolm Winters. But behind the scenes, Michelle was facing a private battle. In 1997, she was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. She underwent her first surgery in 1998, shortly before joining The Young and the Restless. Months later, a second emergency surgery was required after a tumor ruptured. Her body weakened, and she stepped away from acting. On December 23, 1998, Michelle Thomas passed away at just 30 years old. As she had requested, a Muslim funeral was held 3 days later, and she was laid to rest in New Jersey. Though her life was heartbreakingly short, Michelle Thomas left behind a legacy of beauty, talent, and unforgettable performances, a gentle star whose light continues to shine. Number 7. Charlene the Lynn Thigpen. With her commanding presence and unforgettable voice, Lynn Thigpen became one of the most captivating actresses to grace American film, stage, and television. Many remember her as the no-nonsense chief of XM CrimeNet in Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Others recall her riveting performances in An American Daughter and The District. No matter the role, Lynn brought intelligence, dignity, and depth to every character she played. Born in Joliet, Illinois, in 1948, Lynn began her journey far from the bright lights of Hollywood. She earned a teaching degree and worked briefly as a high school English teacher, but her heart was always drawn to performance. Determined to follow her passion, she left teaching behind, earning an acting fellowship to study theater at the University of Illinois. In 1971, Lynn moved to New York City, where her stage career flourished. She starred in a string of successful musicals, including Godspell, The Night That Made America Famous, The Magic Show, Working, and Tintypes. Her talent and presence quickly earned her respect within the theater community. Her big moment arrived in 1997 when she won the Tony Award for her powerful portrayal of Dr. Judith Kaufman in An American Daughter. She also served as Associate Artistic Director at the acclaimed off-Broadway Circle Repertory Company, working alongside Artistic Director Austin Pendleton. Lynn's screen career was equally remarkable. She played the grieving mother of a murder victim in the 2000 remake of Shaft and the mother of an expelled student in Lean on Me. Her portrayal of the chief in the PBS children's geography game show Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego made her a household name. Younger audiences adored her as Luna in Bear in the Big Blue House. Across her career, Lynn appeared in countless beloved television shows, including Gimme a Break, Louisiana Law, Law and Order, The Days and Nights of Molly Dodd, Homicide, Life on the Street, Sesame Street, 30-something, and many more. Her work earned her 6 Daytime Emmy nominations, a testament to her extraordinary versatility. Tragically, Lynn Thigpen's life ended suddenly on March 12, 2003, when she suffered a cerebral hemorrhage at her home in California. The autopsy revealed acute cardiac dysfunction, a spontaneous intraventricular hemorrhage, and extensive bleeding in the brain. She was laid to rest at Elmhurst Cemetery in her hometown of Joliet, Illinois. Her sudden passing halted numerous projects, including Bear in the Big Blue House, which paused production for 3 years. Cast members openly mourned her loss. Tara Mooney, one of her co-stars, said the cruise ship's hearts just weren't set in it anymore. To honor her legacy, family and friends established a non-profit foundation in her name, a lasting tribute to a woman whose artistry and spirit touched generations. Lynn Thigpen's brilliance lives on in every role she ever played. Number 8. Michael Taliaferro. Michael Taliaferro was the kind of actor whose presence filled the screen the moment he appeared. Known for his unforgettable roles in films like Bad Boys, Life, and The Replacements, his towering physique and fierce expressions made him perfect for tough, intimidating characters. But behind the scenes, he was nothing like the roles he played. Before Hollywood, Taliaferro lived an entirely different life. He grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, alongside his older brother and 3 sisters. A gifted athlete, he attended Texas Christian University and later signed with the Washington Redskins. He went on to play 2 seasons in the USFL with the Denver Gold before eventually turning his focus toward acting. His first on-screen appearance came in 1993 as a security guard in Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit. From there, he built an impressive filmography, appearing in Half Past Dead, Blue Hill Avenue, You Got Served, Ride or Die, and more. His talent also extended behind the camera. He directed Steppin' the Movie, which was completed in 2007. Though his movie persona was often intimidating, family and friends described Michael Taliaferro as gentle, soft-spoken, and deeply kind. A devoted Christian, he attended Christian schools growing up and carried his faith with him throughout his life. He was engaged to Kathy L. Terry, and together they had 4 children. Tragically, Taliaferro's life was cut short when he suffered a stroke in 2006. He passed away on May 4, 2006, in Los Angeles at the age of 44. He was laid to rest at Spring Hill Cemetery in Brooksville, Florida. Michael Taliaferro left behind a legacy of talent, heart, and unforgettable performances, a gentle soul who played giant roles. Number 9. Natalie Desselle-Reid. If you were a fan of Medea's Big Happy Family, you'll instantly remember the warm and hilarious presence of Natalie Desselle-Reid, who brought the character Tammy to life with heart and authenticity. But her talent reached far beyond that single role. Natalie starred in numerous beloved films and shows, including Baps, Def Jam's How to Be a Player, Set It Off, and Disney's Cinderella. She also made her mark on television in series like Built to Last, For Your Love, and Eve. Born in Louisiana, DeSalle Reed attended Peabody Magnet High School before pursuing further education at Grambling State University. It was there she discovered her passion for theater. She joined a campus drama group, performing in several stage productions and quickly realizing acting was her true calling. Her professional journey began in 1996 with a role in the film Set It Off. A year later, she charmed audiences worldwide as Minerva, one of the wicked stepsisters, in the 1997 Disney classic Cinderella. Natalie went on to appear in Medea's Big Happy Family and guest starred in Family Matters, steadily building a career defined by versatility and joy. One of her most memorable roles came on the sitcom Eve, where she portrayed Jeannie Eggins for 3 seasons, and for many fans, she will always be remembered as Mickey in Baps, a character who became iconic in its own right. In 2003, Natalie DeSalle Reed married Leonard Reed, and together they had 3 children, the pride of her life. In December 2020, her family announced the heartbreaking news of her passing after a long battle with colon cancer. She was 53. Her funeral was attended by several celebrities, including Issa Rae, Eve Robinson Pete, Shannon Kane, and Shad Bow Moss, all paying tribute to her spirit and legacy. Halle Berry, her Baps co-star, shared an emotional tribute on Instagram, praising Natalie for representing real Black women, not stereotypes, not media distortions, but truth, warmth, and authenticity. She emphasized how Natalie remained genuine despite being underrated and overlooked. Even in her absence, Natalie DeSalle Reed's light continues to shine. Her work, her joy, and her legacy live on in the hearts of those who watched her grow, laughed with her, and loved her, both on screen and off. Number 10, Lloyd Avery. The last, though certainly not the least, on our list of Black actors you may not have known passed away is Lloyd Fernandez Avery II, a name few knew beyond the screen, yet a face millions remember. Most viewers recognized him simply as Lloyd Avery II, the menacing figure from John Singleton's Oscar-nominated film Boys in the Hood. In that unforgettable scene, he leaned out of a bright red 1988 Hyundai Excel, pulled the trigger, and gunned down Morris Chestnut's character Ricky Baker, a moment that still haunts fans decades later. But behind the gangster persona he portrayed so convincingly, Avery was a young man with dreams far different from the violence he depicted on screen. He grew up passionate about music and later developed a fascination with cinema. Classmates remembered him as the class clown, always full of energy, regularly seen driving around in his old brown Pinto. After his breakout in Boys and the Hood, Avery reunited with Singleton for Poetic Justice in 1993. His talent seemed promising, and he went on to appear in the 2000 prison drama Lockdown, where he played G-Ride, and in the urban action film Shot. His future appeared lined with opportunity, but his real life began to mirror the roles he played. In 2001, shortly after finishing work on Shot, Avery was arrested and charged with a double homicide involving 2 random victims. He was sentenced to life in prison, a chilling twist that made many believe he had tragically become the very character he once portrayed. Prison marked the beginning of Avery's darkest chapter. He was placed in a cell with Kevin Roby, a self-proclaimed Satanist and paranoid schizophrenic imprisoned for brutally killing his own sister. Avery, who had turned deeply spiritual, believed God had placed him there to convert Roby to Christianity. But Roby saw things differently. According to his confession, tensions rose as Avery attempted to preach, triggering violent reactions. One confrontation turned deadly. Roby choked Avery until he fell unconscious, causing him to bleed into his lungs. To hide the murder, Roby placed Avery's lifeless body under the bed covers, making it appear as though he was merely sleeping. The horror didn't stop there. Roby used Avery's blood to paint symbols and messages across the cell walls as part of a satanic ritual he claimed was a warning to God. He then positioned Avery's body into a pentagram drawn on the floor, a gruesome display that went unnoticed by correctional officers for nearly 38 hours. When guards finally entered the cell, they found a scene of unimaginable cruelty. Lloyd Avery II's death remains one of Hollywood's most tragic and disturbing stories, a haunting reminder of how fame, fate, and darkness can collide in ways more shocking than fiction. Thank you for watching until the end. These stories remind us that behind the bright lights of fame lie struggles, heartbreaks, and untold journeys. If you want to keep exploring more hidden truths, forgotten legends, and powerful stories of Black actors, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications. Stay with us, because many more stories are waiting to be told. See you in the next video.